most sensitive issue which was lying under the carpet for the time being, as the Modi government was not interested in coming out on record and explaining or taking a firm stand as to what should be centre's position in terms of defining minority communities in several states where Hindus have been in minorities. There are several states such as Meghalaya, Nagaland, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh, Lakshadweep. These are some of the states and UTs where Hindus have been in minorities, and not only this, Judaism and Baha'ism, these two communities are also in minority, especially in Ladakh. So one of the complainant who had filed a PIL in Supreme Court, he sought direction to the central government requesting it to declare these communities as minority communities in these states. But center was lying dormant. Center was not ready to clarify its position because there could be a number of reasons behind it, but some of the most visible and apparent reason could be that center was not interested in meddling into the affair of states. Number one. Number two, there is a general perception among the people that BJP is playing politics, because if it clarifies its position, then center will be always targeted by those opposition party and especially those minority community that it is changing the constitutional norms of this country. But whereas fact is otherwise. Central government under 2C of the National Minority Commission Act 1992 is duly empowered to declare any community as minority community in any of the state or otherwise, means center. But here center has taken a recourse and lobbed the ball in the state. Reason being that BJP is planning to start a second genre of politics in states where it is yet to make its position clear, and it has to represent the cause of the Hindu communities or the other communities in those states. Though, if you want to seize the power in these states, since other communities are in majority, so your politics of representing Hindu does not matter, does not work wonder for you in terms of political gain. So BJP, which has been trying to make a balance between how, if it has to go for the minority, especially if it wishes to tell Hindu communities in these of the states as minority community, then their politics in state will get badly impacted. So it was not ready to make its position very clear in past few years, because in 2017, Ashwini Upadhyay had moved a PIL. Even center was issued notice, but center did not clarify, and Supreme Court asked that gentleman to move to the National Commission for Minority, which is empowered to take a call on this issue. But when he went to National Commission for Minority, it makes its position very clear that it is beyond their jurisdiction. And the then central government, it took advantage of this 1992 Act and it utilized it to its benefit, and it declared 5 communities, that is called Muslim, Sikh, Buddhism, Parsis and Christian. These communities were declared as minority communities. So there was no issue if center was declaring this community as a minority community, because it is duly empowered. There is no harm in it, there is no constitutional binding, or there is no constitutional ban as not to frame a law to declare a particular community as a minority community. But this time, when Modi government is at the helm of the affair, who is always criticized that he is anti-minority because Muslim community and other communities are in minority communities. And if you start to snatch some power of those communities, though it is not snatching of the power when it comes to state, because you are in majority in those states. But Modi government considered that opposition will pounce and it will create an impression globally that Modi government is meddling with the minority communities. So it is refraining from those. And its own politics, that how to revive and how to seize the power in states, because that is the design, that is the goal that BJP has set for itself. Then this kind of politics means taking a stand against the existing minority community will not work in those states. So it is under a dilemma as to what should be its position. So this time, center, when it was prodded by the Supreme Court, then it has no option but to come out, because center was once fined. Even the Gogoi who had listed this was later on Bobde had rejected this petition, and there is an understanding that there would have been something fishy when this argument was rejected. But once it was Ashwini Upadhyay who had taken this issue to National Minority Commission, when it said that it did not have power, then it moved a fresh case in 2020 asking the similar question. It was a question of propriety as to who will deal with this issue ultimately. Supreme Court has to come out with a stand. Even the Modi government has to come out with a stand, and even the state has to clarify its position as to actually who is empowered to take a call on this matter. Because when it comes and when it suits to the politics, then you can take a call and you decide what has to be done. So when it was prodded by the central government, then Modi had given an affidavit requesting the Supreme Court to reject this petition again, arguing that since state government is duly empowered and it can frame a law declaring a particular institution as a minority institution, and it can facilitate and it can give all kind of facilities which a person or an institution is empowered to. So this year politics, state politics, has led Modi government to refrain from coming out with a clear stand on this issue. But dear viewers, do believe that Supreme Court will definitely, even if it is rejected, this is an issue which has been brought into the limelight. And if you remember, if we can talk about the Kashmir File movie, which is hogging headlines and which has steered a debate in this country, this constitutes the core part as to if Kashmiri Pandit, who are actually into the minority, if they would be accorded status of a minority or not. If suppose tomorrow it wishes to set up an institution in Kashmir, can it set up under the minority facility? Can it set up under this law called Section 30 or not? So whatever happens, nobody knows what stand Supreme Court takes. It will be seen in a day or two. But fact is, this debate has come into play. It is into full swing, and people will definitely start debating if Hindus can be also accorded minority status in other states or not. Because especially in 2014, if you can recall it, Jain communities were included into minority communities. Though in Rajasthan and some other states, they are in majority. So if those kind of community can be declared minority community, then why not those Hindus, those OBCs who are having or who having their abode in these states where they have been living for several years, but they are bereft of the benefit that state could have provided them. So this is a question of propriety and constitutional issue that both the Supreme Court as well as center and state have to come out with a clear stand, because it will ultimately decide the future and course of the communities who are living into these states. If Muslim have right in India, if Jainis have right in India, if Sikh communities have right in India to be accorded as minority states and they can run their institution, then why not? Why not? That is the question. Why not Hindus be allowed to run an institution in Kashmir, Ladakh, or some other place? Even the Baha'is community, even the Judaism. If you remember, the Judaism community have been declared minority community by Maharashtra government. So state government is also duly empowered, but current government, especially in Jammu and Kashmir, is run by central government, and since that is a Muslim dominated state, so BJP presumes or BJP has this fear in mind that if it comes out with a clear stand, people will think that it is changing the demography of that state. But we need to think bigger than what BJP government and other government thinks about. Hope you have enjoyed this content, and do subscribe this channel. Never ever forget to subscribe this channel, and we shall be coming out with the most topical issues from time to time to let you peep into those issues which actually impact you from time to time. Thank you viewers. Thank you once again from the bottom of my heart, and thank you for viewing my channel. Your love, extending your love is our asset. Thank you.